Could I see your driver's license, please?
Yes, sir. Just a second.
You've just seen a fast draw demonstration presented by two members of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, Lieutenant Dan Combs, Trooper Dan Combs, who works out of Clinton, and Lieutenant Gene Frusher from Oklahoma City. There's a specific reason for the demonstration you've just seen. Trooper Combs, in the line of duty, or in other words, in your general line of work, you normally don't have your pistol out, do you?
No, Ralph, we do not. It's in the holster. Usually a law enforcement officer is invited to draw by being shot or shot at.
So your first indication is either a gun pointed at you or someone shooting at you.
That is correct, Ralph.
So it's pretty important to you and in your job to be able to get your weapon out fast.
It means a lot of cases the difference between life and death and our being able to do the job out on the road that people put us out there to do, protection of lives and property. This one, Jack, is done for the purpose of speed and timing, and only done with blanks or an empty gun to get the gun pointed in the same direction to obtain speed and timing, not with live ammunition. Here's what we mean. The old-timers maintain that a man that can hold an object on the back of his hand, drop it, draw, and hit his target by the time that hits the ground will win about any gun battle that he may become involved in. However, with all of the fast draw people we have in the country today can do it that fast, we had better be able to do it a little faster if we meet one on the wrong side of the law. We better be able to shoot it before it starts to the ground. Ralph, this is one of those circumstances where we find ourselves covered with a gun. The only chance we have is to draw and fire before that man can pull the trigger. When you see me start to draw, you pull the trigger. There's no gimmick or no stunt. When you see me start to draw, you pull the trigger. Are you ready? Ralph, this time we will empty the gun because the stunt that we want to show you is a reaction time stunt that we try to use to emphasize how important reaction time can be driving an automobile. And we want to make sure the gun is empty, check it, and let you check it. It is not the empty gun that kills, Ralph. It's the empty head. So with the gun empty, if you'll stand with your hands about this wide apart, when you see me start to draw, clap your hands. When you get your hands clapped, hold on to them, and we'll turn and let them see what you have. Are you ready? All right, when you see me draw, clap your hands. Hold on. Here's what he has. Time we'll try one that is the modern-day equivalent of the old-time fanner with the single action, only this time we'll do it with a modern police revolver like this.
Dan, now you use this gun display in safety demonstrations. Is this a gun safety demonstration or something else now?
It was designed primarily, Ralph, for an automobile safety program and used the guns to emphasize the deadliness of the automobile and emphasize the fact also that the automobile is more deadly than the gun.
I see. How often do you give a demonstration like this?
Usually when they are called for, when they're asked for civic groups, schools, scout groups, and what have you.
How long have you been practicing on your fast draw?
Approximately 10 years, Ralph.
When do you find that you need it now? I mean, normally, I suppose, in your line of work, you don't carry your gun out.
No, we can't approach a car and ask a man for his driver's license with a gun in their hand. We have to walk up to the car with unsuspecting, and then if we find ourselves in trouble, that's where the speed would help us stay alive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's. I notice you got two guns on.
The purpose for an officer being able to shoot with either or both hands at the same time may be very necessary. So we'll demonstrate the two guns like the 1-2 in boxing, first with the left hand, then with the right hand, just like the old 1-2. This demonstration then will include both guns being fired at the same time, just in case the 1-2 sequence is not sufficient, both at the same time. This time we will take the object and hold it in our teeth, drop it, and shoot with both guns at the same time. But we have to wait till it clears the belt before we can draw, because we'll bump the target. This time we will demonstrate the border switch used by the old-timers, the old two-gun men, where he did all the shooting with his good hand, emptied the gun, switched the other over like this. This time, Jack, we will use the old single-action peacemaker with a hammer down and try to get a fast first and second shot with the first shot thumb, the second shot fan. Jack, this one is one of the tricks used by the old-time famous or infamous outlaws where he offered his gun in surrender to the officer. When the officer reached for the gun, there's what he got. Jack, this is the most difficult one and also the most dangerous one with a single action, is to hold the object on the back of your hand, try to bump it and get that shot off with a single action.
You work together almost daily, presenting safety demonstrations. What are the purposes of your gun demonstrations now?
Well, we try and promote gun safety and show how these accidents can happen in this fast draw. We have quite a bit of that throughout the country now, and there's quite a few clubs formed, and Dan shows them the few of the do's and don'ts in this fast draw. He can give you a pretty good demonstration.
Good. We want to get to that just a minute. One more question I have before we do. I notice you're very careful here in handling the weapons, even though they're loaded with blanks. Can you get hurt with a blank?
You sure can, Ralph. The blanks are dangerous at close range, even to the point of being fatal at close range. They can burn severely and also be deadly if they are stuck against another person in a trigger pull, or they could blast a person's eye out.
Let's look at some
One that we'd like to emphasize, that some of the people who are practicing fast draw are trying it with a hammer back and the gun in the holster like this. And they really make a fast draw. Then when they go for the gun, they pull the trigger.